Welcome back, everybody. Going back some time ago, I did a video. It was on the BMW. It was my GS, my 1250 GS, and I'm not quite sure whether I included certain clips which I took when I was very, very, very stupid. And I'm being absolutely honest now. And I wasn't going to do this video at the time of this particular incident happening. And I spoke to a couple of close friends, and they said, basically, you better be careful here because you don't want to be getting on the wrong side of any accusations, pointing the finger, anything like that. So at the time I thought about this quite a lot, and it was on my mind, and I thought, well, I'm not going to be blaming anybody but myself because I was being forgetful. I wasn't feeling brilliant at the time when I did this video, or did the job I should say, and videoed it. And well, needless to say, I'm lucky to be here, if I'm being honest. I'll let you decide. I'm gonna put this video together, and I'll let you guys decide whether you want to look at it, because if it just saves one life, if it just saves one, then I'm glad I put it out there. I won't be pointing the finger at any manufacturers or anybody else. It's just my fault, entirely my fault. I was forgetful, and like all human beings, we make mistakes. But the most important thing is how we learn from those mistakes. And this was something which was, it was a bit of a sharp learning curve of what to do and what not to do. And as I said, it's to do with the brakes and the servicing of the brakes on my 1250 GS, which is miles away from the Japanese machines of the 80s. But I'll run the video and I'll let you decide as to whether you think it's useful. I think personally, if I can highlight what I did wrong, and as I said, and it saves one life, then I'm glad I put it out. I'll let you decide. Morning, everybody, on this very blowy Sunday. Yeah, well, where have I been around? Well, a couple of months ago, no, it's longer than that, a lot longer than that. Some time ago, I'd done some damage to my back, up on my shoulder. And it's been getting worse and worse and worse. I've been trying to work it off, get on with stuff. I still work part-time. In some cases, more than part-time. And it just gets to you. It does get to you. And this muscle, I think I've probably ripped a muscle, I don't really know. But the quack says, you know, you're getting on a bit. There's not a lot we can do. You can try exercise, you can try that. Exercise does help, but not a great deal. Anyway, that's why I've been around. I haven't been feeling up to doing a lot in the workshop. And I have to say, riding, I've probably done a bit more riding than I would do normally because I bought another bike. I know, I shouldn't do, but we all do. I got this one, pretty good bargain. I'm going to introduce you to him in a minute. I'm going to call this one Peanut von Steiner. Now that's a clue as to what type of bike it is. I don't know if I mentioned this actually, but I've got an RT, a 1200 RT, which is not a bad bike, and I bought that some time ago because my motorhome was having a lot of work done to it, and my mum was on her way out. God rest your mum if you're listening. And I needed something to get down south, so I bought the RT. As it happened, I never really needed it. We had the motorhome back, and it was a bit of a knee-jerk reaction, but if I needed it, it was there. So it's a question really of having the choice of being able to get there if you needed to. I was impressed with that bike, so I bought this one. I'll come and show you. Ah, he's all covered up. Hang on a minute, let me put the lid down. I'll take the cover off so you can all see. It's nothing new, there's loads on the road. Introducing Peanut. Now, why Peanut? Well, the registration is KP. KP? You can work that one out. Got a good deal, quite chuffed with the price. Stand back here. All in all, it's a lovely bike. But, I've been doing a bit of reading. I knew this before I bought it, but I thought I could sort that out. Does seem to be a bit of an issue with the drive shafts on these. Probably, if we go around the other side, I'll show you what I mean. Probably because, compared to the RT, there's more of an angle with the drive shaft swing arm in relation to the output shaft. Okay, it's on the center stand now, so this is probably going to be the worst angle of all. But when you're riding it, I think that angle is a bit greater. I don't think that's got anything to do with what's going on with the drive shafts, because what is happening in some cases, and there's been quite a lot of people putting YouTube videos out there, the drive shaft is rusting where the actual end of the shaft goes into the splines on the female side of the final drive in there. And I'm going to put some of the video I shot into this video to give you an idea. But I had to get this video out, and it's a bit of a mishmash actually, because I really wanted to tell you guys to be so bloody careful. Be so careful when you do this. I screwed up. It was my fault. I didn't pay attention. Probably because I was in pain with my back, and I should have stopped and left it and come back on a better day. But nevertheless, I'm not blaming anybody, and I'll go through what happened. Right, I was riding along, and I was only doing 5 miles an hour, thank God, and the back end started to wobble all over the place, look as if you'd got a flat tyre, but a lot worse. And what had happened is, these 2 bolts here, I don't know if you can see them, these 2 bolts that hold the caliper on, this one I don't think I tightened up, or it could have been that one. I'll check later because I've got the old final drive over there, and the caliper came off. And switching round to the old wheel, that's the state of it. As you can see, all the spokes around this side, which is the wheel side, have ripped, and it's done some nasty scarring on the rim. I don't know whether that rim's salvageable or not. I'm going to talk to some experts on that, but it's not good. All because I probably lightly did not tighten the bolt. So just be careful, guys. Just be careful. If you work on these, they're well designed. There's nothing wrong. They're well designed. But the 2 things I'm going to mention now is Loctite and torque settings. Make sure you use them. Try not to forget that. And on that day, I probably did. Probably because I was leaning over all the time trying to get the pain from my back eased off. And it takes your mind off what you're doing. So, yeah. Anyway, that's where we are now. That's the wheel as I've just showed you. I'm going to show you some other bits which are a bit cockeyed and crooked and bent. This is the new disc. I'll get that out in a minute. Calipers. Well, that's the pin. That's the pin that holds the pads in. The pads, if you can see that, That's all bent. Can you see, guys? Has it picked it up? That's all bent in relation to the line of the pad. And they're Brembo. They're good pads. These are the new ones, which I've put the old ones in which came with a caliber. They seem to be alright, so I'll get as much use out of them as I can before I put these one in. So I don't know, I'll see how I go on that. This is what's left of the cradle, or the holder, for the calibers. Look at the state of that. A right mess. The yellow dots, ignore them. I was testing something. So, what we got? This is left of the spokes. This is the pin, which goes in there. In one of them anyway. Yeah, that one. This is the pin that goes in there. That one. I've taken all that out. You can see the state of that where it got bent. Mashed up the support for the speed sensor, the holder. Well, that's just a bleed nipple. Oh no, it's not. Is it a bleed nipple? That's the banjo bolt. That's the banjo bolt off the other one. So it just goes to show you how it can all so easily go wrong if you don't pay attention. But the worst case scenario is this. Because the bolt came undone on that one, on this one, I'm not, to be honest, I'm not absolutely certain which one came undone, but it completely broke the casting. So this actual part here, which is the side cover of the final drive, that's had it. You might be able to get that welded up, but it might be a little bit suspect if you did. I don't know. If a really, really good non-ferrous welder could do that, then you could probably save it. But then, of course, you'd have to dress all this. We've got mess there. We've got mess around here where it's ground in. As the wheel went round, it's just not good. Not good at all. And it's heartbreaking, really, all because of one bolt. All because of one bolt. So, let me come back to camera. So there you go. I can't really say anything more on that other than it was just a stupid thing I've missed. Completely missed it. The bike, we know the bike's a very, very popular bike. We know that it's very successful. And I believe there's a few other things that some people have mentioned to do with the cam chain where it maybe slapping a little bit. And I've seen videos on the tube where the cam followers have worn down the lobes on some of the early productions. I don't know whether they didn't case harden the metal enough on those things. I don't know, but there is some stuff out there on the YouTube about that. But this is nothing to do with any bad design or any bad manufacturing. This was my fault. I accept full responsibility. If I hadn't had a bad back, I might have been concentrating a bit more, and you know, I might have not cost myself a bloody fortune in repairs. However, it's all done, and I just wanted to get that video out because the main reason for putting this out is just to say to you guys, don't make the same mistake. I was lucky, I'm still here. Had I been going a lot faster, might have been a different story. So just be careful in what you do. If you've got any doubts, take it to BMW, get them to go through it. Or a BMW reputable service company, whatever. But just make sure, if you do it yourselves, Loctite and torque settings. Get yourself a good torque wrench and just make sure those bolts are done up. As you should do with all of them, really. I mean, let's be honest, but those two, like brakes, pretty important, wouldn't you say? So that's where I am at the moment. So I'm going to put this out probably in the next day or so. I hope you guys can... I hope it helps some guys, and maybe it might help a few people save their bloody lives, because if you do work on it, just be careful. I think that's probably it for the time being. If you've got anything to say, comments with what I've said, and if anybody else has experienced problems with the drive shaft, and I'm going to probably include some of that material in this video. See what you think, because that was taken some weeks ago, and I'll try and put that together as a separate one and then put it into this video, so it might be a bit long, but you can have a look at that as we go. At the moment, I'll say cheerio, and I'll be back later. Well, there you go, guys. Bit of a lesson, I think. It certainly was a lesson for me. I know when I pulled over and the wheel was going round, and it was all over the place. That was a bit of a shock, I can say the least. But I just wanted to, I mean, I have debated to myself as to whether I should have let this video out. But I think, really speaking, I've done the right thing. So I'd like to say I hope you enjoy it, but by the same time, I hope it, you know, it sinks in to guys that do their own maintenance, because the last thing you want to do is to make the same mistake as one I made. So there you go. Put the comments down below, anything you've got to say. I know it's a bit of a changeover from the Z1 and the bikes I normally work on, the 70s, 80s bikes. But yeah, so let me know what you think. And I'm going to say cheerio now, because it's New Year's Day, believe it or not. And I'm going to go in now for a couple of mince pies and some brandy cream. So I'll see you all literally this year. Take care, ride safe, and I will be back soon. Cheerio.